Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the Sweet Spot on NS9NFT. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we do have Jim Rosati. Jim, what is up?
What's going on? Happy Sunday. Happy Uncut Diamond drop week.
That's right. We're just a few days away.
Yeah.
It's early Christmas, huh?
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I wasn't sure if they were like I don't know if there was rumors like it wasn't gonna happen this year, but then it happened, and yeah, I'm excited for it. Like this is my favorite part of baseball collecting is prospects and following people through the minors. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, no, we definitely know this is one of your favorites. I was, just to add on, I was getting kind of nervous as well. I mean, the 2022 MLB All-Stars came out. Everyone who had their chaser from last year, right, got into the early access. So you and I are kind of like, all right, sweet. We got our chaser from the prospect one, so we'll get early access for the prospects, right? The Uncut Diamonds. And the week went by, and another week went by, and then a month went by, and the season ended, and we're like, is this going to happen? Did we get this chaser for nothing? And then here it is in December, the prospects, which honestly, though, it makes a lot of sense. It spreads it out a bit. Mm-hmm. And then, you don't really need baseball season to be going on for the prospects, I guess. So it's kind of cool.
And what's pretty cool about it, like I said, we're going to go through really the entire checklist tonight. But one thing that's pretty cool is you've got a lot of this year's draft picks thrown in here. So a lot of 2022 first round picks are in this checklist where, really, if you kind of think about it, if you're in the baseball card collecting space, Bowman Draft is kind of the first release where you see all the draft picks, right? That's not going to come out for another month or so. So this is really like the first collectible for the guys from this year's draft, which is just kind of neat. It gives you something to look forward to, and kind of like a preview for Bowman Draft if you're into the physical card collecting space.
Yeah, and I think it'd be something kind of cool to talk about, like the difference between last year, right, the inaugural drop, which was the All-Stars and the Uncut Diamonds, and then like this year's. Now, last year it featured basically one player per team. This year, like you said, there's 40 of them. So that means, hey, some teams have more than one guy. And then, like you said, too, it's ones that are like right after the draft. I mean, none of them, like last year, featured that. Most of them seemed like they were pretty close to the majors. It wasn't all their top prospects, but of course, it was like a top guy for the most part. Someone who was probably in AA, AAA for sure. And then, right, like you said, this time there's guys right after the draft, some big top names. Like you said, their first NFT now for them. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of exciting. This is a lot different than last year.
Yeah, and what's pretty cool is, the mint counts as well, like are in line with, the Hall of Fame drop, the All-Star drop. So it's a limited drop. The cores are only 480 per player, and then it drops down to 135 for uncommons, 70s for rare. So definitely a more premium drop in that there aren't as many as like the leadoff series.
Yeah, that's like the first thing that stood out to me when I saw this was the mint counts, and of course, again, there's only 40 of them, right? It's not like you're talking about a whole lineup of all-stars and such, and especially a whole lineup of major league players like the inaugural 2022 MLB lineup. So it is very limited, and that's why I'm looking at this like too. Like the early access, I think really means a lot because I understand the environment right now among crypto, of course, is generally right NFTs and of course with candy. The latest drop is still out there to buy. I anticipate this being sold out. I mean, I could be completely wrong, obviously.
Well, I think you're going to see this kind of parallel the All-Star drop, where like it's going to be picked up and it's going to sell out relatively quickly. There's not a ton of packs. There's not a ton of icons out there. Not a ton of uncut diamonds out there. So I would be shocked if these don't sell out very fast.
Same. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Again, like we're talking about, it's limited because there's less players. And then also for some of these, it is their first. I mean, you've had an entire MLB lineup. You've already had an all-star set last year. I mean, there's like 3 sets of Otanis. If you really want like an Otani, you can get your hands on one. If you really want a Henry Davis, as I know you do, Jim, you can't get one unless you get one out of here. And there's only going to be so many of them. So I'm with you. I'm pretty excited about this drop in the sense of, again, like the early access part. Like there's going to be a lot of meaning behind that, I believe. And then with the early access, you have it now. Those days changed, Jim. I know you were working so hard on that graphic. I probably should have told you beforehand.
Yeah, you should have told me that they changed.
I guess I kind of forgot. So instead of December 6th anymore, it is December 7th for the early access. And I also believe the time
so fix this.
is also at 1. Yeah, both days it's at 1 p.m. So 12/7 at 1 p.m. Eastern time is the early access. Then the standard general access is December 8th at 1 p.m. But so again, with the early access, in order to be eligible for it, more or less, you have to have. So the top 50 net spenders, Jim, it's not me.
Not me either, I don't think.
Current holders of the 2021 Uncut Diamonds full set and chaser. Now that is us. A current holder of the 2021 Uncut Diamonds Legendary. I don't have any legendaries, not me. And that snapshot was already taken December 2nd at 5 p.m. So if you qualify, you're in early access. But what's cool is you do have the ability to have 3 transactions. So you can buy 3 packs if you have early access. And there is only going to be 510 packs available for the early access on both sets. So if you don't have early access, you might be fighting on general queue.
I'm just
so again, that's where I'm really excited about having early access for this one, because again, like we're talking about how limited it is. Now there of course is a cooldown, 3 minutes in between, but yeah, like you get your hands on 3 packs if you can. That's pretty big in my mind.
Yeah, I think it'll sell out real quick. And what's cool about it is, you won't be able to scoop up a ton of them. So you'll have the packs will always spread out against multiple buyers. I anticipate the market being pretty active too, because if we're talking about like the challenges for it, first there's a full set challenge where you have to complete it relatively quickly, right? So if early access is the 7th, standard drop is the 8th, you've got to have a complete set with at least 5 rares or better by December 12th. So you've got essentially 4 days after the standard drop to finish your set. So I think it's gonna make I think the packs fly off the shelf pretty quickly regardless, but I think the marketplace gets pretty active because you're going to have a lot of people who are wanting to finish that set, and they're only going to have 4 days to do it.
Right. And what's kind of cool about that too is you can't just go the cheap route. Like you can't just scoop up cores like you're mentioning with the rares. So, I mean, you're going to have to invest. So it makes everything, I guess, like you're saying, secondary. I mean, that's going to be popping for the next 4 days after this.
Yeah. And then there's a second challenge associated with this too, which, this will be down the road during the 2023 season, but there's a call-up challenge, which reading through this, it sounds almost impossible to do. Like you have to correctly predict the order of the first 5 uncut diamonds promoted to Major League Baseball. So it's going to be tough. Now, like what I did here, I made kind of a, like, we'll go through each player and I put an ETA on there. So you can, so everybody who's ETA 2023, right? That's kind of who you're looking for in putting together that challenge. But to put them in order of when they get called up, that's going to be pretty difficult because really it's just luck.
Right. Well,
it's luck.
It's possible. If you guess correctly, you can knock some of them on day one, because with the new rules and such with the MLB, right? The incentive to promote your guys from day one for rookie of the year, such.
Yep.
you can get a big chunk of that. I'm not sure if they're going to be all 5 right from day one, but
looking at the list here, I doubt it.
Okay.
And when we go through all of these, the end of this is I've got it all put together so we can kind of look at that. Everybody who's expected to be called up in 2023, we'll look over them and see and kind of make our predictions. So
what I will say is I can eliminate 3 for you off the bat.
Any Pirates?
It's not going to be Tamar Johnson. It's not going to be Henry Davis. It's not going to be Quinn Priester. So any
honestly, I don't know. Looking at this list, I think you're going to have a lot of people who are called up like mid-season. So Priester and Davis are in the mix. I would say Priester and Davis are absolutely in the mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get into that. We'll have some fun with this. But I'm definitely very excited about this Uncut Diamonds. I can't wait. Early access on Wednesday. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. So do we want to get into the checklist?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. So we got 40 players. Basically, how we're going to do this is we're going to go through in order of Baseball America prospect ranking. Pick Baseball America just because I had to pick one. I feel like they're pretty knowledgeable about their prospects. So that's what we're going to go with. So the number 1 prospect in this checklist is Jackson Cheerio.
Daniel Palencia looking back in the 3-0. Cheerio swinging 3-0 and driving it 3-0, and it's out of here, and it's 2-0 Wisconsin. My goodness. Cheerio had a green light 3-0, and he hammered it. And it's 2.
All right. So Jackson Cheerio, Milwaukee Brewers, he's the number 2 prospect in all of baseball, according to Baseball America. He will be the number 1 prospect as soon as Gunnar Henderson loses his prospect eligibility, which will be pretty quick. It'll be pretty quick that he loses that. So you're looking at somebody probably 2 weeks into the year. He'll be the number 1 prospect in all of baseball. He was a 2021 international free agent signing. He is so young. He's 18 years old. He doesn't turn 19 until March. I put on here an ETA of 2024. I don't think he makes the majors this year unless it's just crazy season for him. But the year that he put together this past season as an 18-year-old is one of the more impressive 18-year-old seasons that you'll see from what I can remember, honestly. He kind of just burst onto the scene and just dominated at every level that he stopped at. So Cheerio, number 1 prospect in this checklist, and he's going to be good. He's going to be really good, I think.
Yeah. So good for Uncut Diamonds fans, not good for NL Central fans.
No, not good for NL Central fans.
No.
But yeah, Cheerio's the main guy here. So,
and obviously, very good point. I mean, all these going to be the first ones, but again, like him being so young, I'm sure this is the first NFT anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, his first Bowman Chrome autograph just came out like last week, and if you look on eBay, they're selling for outrageous amounts of money. So, yeah, Cheerio's the cream of the crop right now when it comes to this checklist.
Nice.
All right, so let's head to
Valencia.
Next one, Grayson Rodriguez.
75 and 90, so 5 or 6 innings tonight as he strikes out low with the letter high fastball. Lance back, the 3-2, and he strikes him out swinging. 97. Ortiz, the shortstop, Westberg at third as Haley takes strike 3 on the inside corner. And the 22-year-old delivers a fastball up in the zone, missed by Rodriguez. Hole. In the 0-2, Mastrobuoni reaches for off speed, and he's down on strike. Bit Israeli, and the 0-2 finishes him off. 96 right by him, but there was money at stake as Haley swings through a breaking ball.
All right, so when we're talking that prospect call-up challenge,
Yeah.
this is a guy that you may want in your top 5. Number 4 prospect in all of baseball, 2018 first-round pick. Probably the best pitching prospect out there. He started 14 games in AAA last year too. So like he's knocking on the door. And he also dominated in AAA. So like he's someone who, if he doesn't start the year in Baltimore's rotation, he's going to be up there relatively quick. He's 23 years old. I would expect him to be in one of those top 5, barring any sort of injury or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm making a live list right now, and I just already added him to it right now because I'm with you. What I want to do too is let's talk about like last year, like for team, right? We're talking challenge. Let's give some info here. Like Rutschman wasn't on day 1, but his was more due to injury. I feel as if the Orioles, and let's just put it this way, also they got. I'm not going to say screwed. I mean, just because of the injury, right? But in terms of like things, like they kind of got screwed in that sense because he's going to get full service time. He's going to get the paid and such. So you could really make a case that the Orioles would maybe start him from day 1 because they want to go in. There's the incentive to start from day 1 to get that draft pick, right? They're going to get full service time anyways if he's in top voting and such. So I think Grayson Rodriguez is certainly one to put in your top 5 because opening day, I have a feeling he'll be there.
Yeah, keep in mind too, the Orioles also have the number 1 prospect in baseball who did play about 25 games last year, who will likely start in the majors as well. So, the Orioles are stacked. It's gonna be a fun Orioles team, a young team, and Grayson Rodriguez looks like he's gonna be a pretty big part of that rotation for years to come.
And now, Jim, he has Gibson Gang to mentor him.
That's true. They
for
signed
a full
Kyle
season.
Gibson. That's
right.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. I didn't realize that. I kind of forgot about that. But Grayson Rodriguez, obviously when it comes to like collecting minor leaguers and baseball players in general, pitchers are going to be, less attractive than hitters. But when it comes to pitchers, it's not going to get better than Grayson Rodriguez in this drop.
Right.
So, all right, moving on. Number 7 prospect in baseball, Jordan Walker.
Here's the Rooney delivery, swinging a high drive, deep left field. Walker way back, and it is gone, a home run. So on a 1-0 pitch, Jordan Walker deposited it into Budweiser Terrace, and it is 3-1 Springfield. The 2 walks really hurting John Rooney. And it is home run number 19 for Jordan Walker, RBI 66, 67, and 68.
All right. So a couple things on Jordan Walker. One, another NL Central prospect who's going to, murder the Pirates for years to come. But 2020 first round pick. You can just see from that video, just like a physical specimen. Like the guy is a monster. He's listed as a third baseman. Problem is the Cardinals have a pretty good third baseman right now. So if he plays for the Cardinals and isn't used as a play chip, he'll probably need to switch positions, right? So probably not a third baseman on the Cardinals, but he reached AA last year. He played the whole season in AA. Had a hell of a year. I would anticipate he starts next year in AAA and is called up relatively soon if his development keeps going in the same trajectory it's going right now.
Yep. Just to add in here, like the Cardinals weren't a team that started anyone on day 1. So it's not as if they have, of course, just one season under the belt, right? But it's not like they have a track record of starting anyone from day 1. So I don't know if Jordan Walker is going to start from day 1. I have him listed here with a question mark. He could potentially be a top 5, like you're talking of, right? Mm. Is he for you?
You know what? I'm not sure. I kind of forget who the rest of the people on the list are. So maybe he's definitely a candidate for that top 5.
Yeah. But obviously, as you alluded to, Nolan Arenado makes it easier for them to stash him on day 1.
Right. Kind of similar to like what they did with Nolan Gorman last year.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Moving on.
Here's the Rooney delivery.
This is your boy, Yuri Perez.
that game. Here comes his 2-2 on the way. The kick and the pitch. Swing and a foul tip, strike through. They slid him down the 3s on deck. 1-2. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike championship game here in the Southern League. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Oh. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Right now, Perez can do no wrong. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's 5. He's the top Marlins prospect. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out.
The 30th pitch from Perez.
Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Here's the pitch from Perez. Swing and a miss. That's 8.
So that highlight, he struck out the first 8 batters of that game, by the way. I listed him as an ETA 2024. I think there's a chance he can get called up this year. I think it's going to be 2024. But I'll let you take the lead on this one. You're the Marlins expert. So
I mean,
yeah,
you love this. First off, that's a big boy.
Yeah.
That is a big boy, and he's been throwing heat from the beginning. I mean, he's a big time prospect. This is you talked about with Rodriguez, how like not a better pitching prospect in this drop. And I mean, Yuri Perez, he's younger. He's got to show the more. He's got to work on more pitching. But like, this guy's got future ace written all over him. And like how big he is, the control that he actually has as well is outstanding. So I'm with you. I don't think he's going to debut this year unless it's like at the very, very end of the year or there's like some big time injuries and maybe he gets like a call up here or there. But he's not in the plans at all in my mind for the Marlins. And also just because they have pitching depth for days. It's not as if they even need him. I mean, they could have injuries and still not need Perez. So I think 2024 is probably the most reasonable. And also for the fact the Marlins are one of those teams that are on the cheaper side. Probably not going to see him on day one for service manipulation reasons, probably even for 2024. So, yeah, I would not put him on your top 5 at all. But I want his card. I want his icon. Put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, he really his 2021 season, he got put on everybody's radar. Just an absolutely dominant season, throughout single A and high A. And then he followed up last year with double A, didn't dominate as much, but the strikeout numbers were still there. Like the guy's a future top of the rotation starter.
And if I'm not mistaken too, like double A, I believe it was like his first few starts where it was like shaky, but after that he was still, he kind of turned it back on.
Yeah. I mean, he was pretty good,
but I mean, he's 6'8", Jim.
Yeah. Well, watching him, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Tristan McKenzie, but like bulkier.
Yeah. Well, everyone's bulkier than McKenzie.
Yeah. Everyone's bulkier than Tristan McKenzie.
So that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. So Yuri Perez, number 8 prospect in all of baseball. We got a couple more top 10 prospects here. So starting off with number 9, Diego Cartaya.
Diego Cartaya is next. Righty on righty matchup. Soft breeze to center the pitch. That's cranked deep to left field. You can give up on it. It's way out of here. Second home run of the game for Diego Cartaya. 399 feet, 111 miles per hour off the bat. And Cartaya putting on a show, the Dodgers' number 1 prospect on this Thursday night at Dow Diamond.
All right, so another prospect from the Dodgers just farm that they just churn out over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, well, I want to add to that. I mean, you obviously, you went to Louisville and you call Louisville catcher U because all they do is produce catchers. Like, are the Dodgers the Louisville version of that? I mean, when's the last time the Dodgers have not had a top catching prospect?
I don't know.
It's all they do.
That is. I mean, and then you even think of who they traded the Nationals for Trey Turner.
Keyboom. Or no.
Yeah.
Not Keyboom.
No.
Yeah.
No. No, not Keyboom.
I know, but it's with a K.
Keeper
hell's his name?
Ruiz.
Keybirds,
Ruiz.
yeah.
So I mean, same thing like with Keeper Ruiz, it's kind of same boat where, yeah, the Dodgers have Will Smith right now, obviously in the majors. Cartaya just kind of seems like he's going to be that next guy behind Smith. A little bit further away, he's hasn't played Double-A yet, but the impressive power is kind of what jumps off the charts of him for him right now. He's hit everywhere he's been so far, and should start next year in Double-A. And I would anticipate maybe like a mid-year 2024 call-up for him.
If they need to.
If they have to. Yeah, that's if they want to.
I mean, geez.
They could use him as trade bait too. I mean, the
Right.
Dodgers are always going to try to improve that major league roster. So Cartaya is a guy who, like, if they feel comfortable with like Will Smith back there for a really long time, then Cartaya becomes, a trade chip, a good trade chip. All right, next up, Anthony Volpe, number 10 prospect, Yankees.
Volpe behind in the count, 1-2. Next pitch is ripped high in the air, deep towards left field. Cortez goes back, watches it fly, bombs away. Anthony Volpe putting on for his fellow Italians. It's a 2-run bomb, and Somerset takes a 4-3 lead. His 16th of the year, the Yankees' top prospect picks up RBIs 50 and 51, and Somerset jumps in front by a run.
All right. Another guy who I expect to get called up this year. Yankees number 1 prospect, shortstop. He's just he dominated A-ball and high A-ball. He was very good in Double-A. Got a taste of Triple-A, looked fine there. I would anticipate like the Yankees are probably going to want him to develop a little bit more before just throwing him out there to start the year. But I would expect Volpe, especially with all the shortstop issues the Yankees have been having the past couple of years. They want to get him to the majors as fast as possible, but they also want to make sure that he's ready.
So what you're saying is he's not going to be included in the Brian Reynolds trade?
That's it. I don't think so. I think if the Yankees are trading for anybody, he's one of the people who are not. They're not trading him.
21 home runs, 50 stolen bases. Please, Lord, why do the rich get richer?
Yeah. I mean,
he had a really good season.
Yeah, he's going to be good, I think.
Yeah, same.
All right, moving on. Yankees. All right, this is our first Diamondback. I think we got a couple on this list. Jordan Lawler.
Here in August, he's been with the team the entirety of this season. Oh, making a break for old Lawler. He steals home. Jordan Lawler catches Black and Thomas off guard with a steal of home. The second in Hop's history. You know it, baby. No play at the plate. Lawler got a great walking lead at third. Vince Harrison fires the starter's gun, and Mason Black had no chance to get him. How about that? Jordan Lawler joins Ricky Martinez as the only 2 players in the 10-year history of the Hillsboro Hops to steal home plates. Now we're talking about a straight steal of home, not a first and third double steal type scenario there.
So an exciting player, as you can see there, stealing home, but he can also hit really well. A high school draft pick from last year's draft, 2021. A lot of people had him as the highest ranked prospect going into that draft, and he dominated his first full season of baseball this past season. Got all the way up to Double-A as a 19-year-old. He's he's on the fast track. Like I don't think he gets called up this year, right? But he's on pace that he should be up in about a year and a half or so, I think.
Yeah, man. If you're a Pirates fan, a Red Sox fan, a Rangers fan, or a Diamondbacks fan, you're probably familiar with Lawler because that was one of the drafts where, like, who knew who's going number 1 through 4 through 5 through 8 through 10 almost, right? especially with Kumar Rocker as well in that draft. But like, he's been killing it. Now he got into AA, and I know he struggled a lot, but like you said, he's so young for that league. But yeah, he looks like he is going to be a really good baseball player. And the Diamondbacks, also another organization, they got a lot of young talent. Not much like the Orioles, but they got some young talent coming up. Kind of fun.
They've got a lot of talent kind of up there at the top. Like they've got a lot of stuff. And then you include Corbin Carroll, Alex Thomas, those guys who were called up this past year.
Yep.
Yeah. They're looking pretty good. So Jordan Lawler, and then right there with them, because a lot of people didn't really know who was the top prospect in that 2021 draft. Was it Lawler or was it this guy? This guy's ranked number 12 right now, behind Lawler at number 11. For the Red Sox, Marcelo Meyer.
Eventually gave the air to the second baseman. Here's a drive, right center field, deep, and this ball is gonna be gone. Line shot, got out of here. Marcelo Meyer rockets one out of here to right field. Third home run, 6 runs batted in, a pair of home runs in the inning. The drive lead at 5-1.
Well, that has been the modus operandi for scoring runs for the Drive most of the season, hitting the long ball. And look at this swing from Marcelo Meyer.
Went down and got it and drove it out of here. A pair of home runs, a 2-run shot by Jack Groshans, and then the solo shot by Meyer, and that's going to be.
All right, we won't listen to the whole clip there, but same thing as Lawler. Like, both came into the draft last year, very highly rated. Both put up extremely impressive 2022 seasons. Meyer, you're probably looking at him starting in AA this next season. Not going to make the majors next year, but a guy who's moving through that system really quick. And, you know, the Red Sox are a team where if you're good enough playing the majors, I think they're going to put you there. So I don't think he's got that much longer if he continues doing what he's doing. He looks really good.
I think it's good. Again, going back to that draft, this is one where, like, you know, 2 high school kids, 2 shortstops, Lawler and Meyer. I'm kind of interested, like, who's going to have the better career. Both look really good.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll be compared to each other a lot, kind of, you know, going forward, because, like I said, they were both really, really good coming into that draft. But so far, so good for Marcelo Meyer.
Yep.
All right. Next up, another pitcher, number 15 prospect in all of baseball, Taj Bradley.
Bradley strikes him out. Now strikes him out. And a fastball right past him. Ring ball, Anthony swinging a miss, and he strikes out Williams.
If you're thinking about somebody called up this year, Bradley's kind of right there in the mix. 5th round pick out of 2018. He had 12 starts in AAA last year, so he's got a decent amount of AAA experience. Keep in mind the Rays operate like a small market team. They are going to manipulate his service time most likely. You probably won't see Taj Bradley called up before June 10th-ish, right? But I would anticipate, barring any injury, Taj Bradley is in the majors, in the Rays rotation, come mid-June. Great stuff. Really, really dominating numbers throughout the entire minor leagues.
Yeah, I like this kid too. Now, you said Yuri Perez is my guy. People watching this stream or listening to this on the podcast, they may or may not know, right? But our Strat League, this is the guys in my Strat League as well. Yeah. Traded for him a couple years back. He's panned out nicely for me. But, you know, the thing about the Rays, I mean, you're 100% accurate. But I feel like they're sneaky sometimes. You know, when you figure they always zig, there's sometimes they zag. I mean, let's be honest. They gave Wander Franco a $200 million contract, almost.
Yeah.
The Rays, and this is also an organization that gave $100 million to Evan Longoria, you know, many years back and such. Now, granted, I don't think Bradley probably is going to fight for like the AL Rookie of the Year. So I don't think there's as much incentive. If you're going to be honest, I mean, first off, he's a pitcher. Second off, there's some good talent out there. But I'm with you. I don't know if he's going to be from day one, but I can certainly anticipate he's going to be there at some point for sure the first half of the season. And I'm looking forward to his debut also because, again, there's incentive for me.
There you go. Yeah. No, I mean, hey, the Rays kind of operate the same way like the Dodgers do, right? And that they just constantly are churning out talented player after talented player. The difference is just the Rays don't have just don't have the budget that the Dodgers do to kind of supplement that. But yeah, I mean the Rays have been very good at developing prospects lately, and he's the next one to come up here. All right, next up, another pitcher, Daniel Espino for the Guardians, number 16 overall prospect.
1-2 pitch, got him. Down on the count here, 0-2, swing and a miss.
You think that has an effect on how you come out the next inning? Struck him out. Dayton fans.
Rogers, a swing and a miss.
Ciani, who was at second base, to be 5 yards behind him down the third base line.
Tried to hold up on the 2-2 check swing, could not. It's a 3-game Cedar Rapids cushion with 26 to play. Strike on the outside corner. Yes. Swing and a miss.
So, but that game's only in the second inning.
1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss.
I would agree.
Swing and a miss.
You got it. If it hits the strike zone, you're out of the inning.
Throws him the third straight slider, a swing and a miss.
All right, so one of those guys where it's just been a little bit unfortunate in that, like, obviously uber talented, has run into some injury issues. Only pitched 18 innings all of last season. So because of that, you're probably not seeing him this season. But the Guardians, another team where they're really good at developing pitchers over the years, and Espino is definitely looking like that next one, kind of in that long line of top of the rotation starters that they've just been able to constantly churn through their organization.
Yeah, constantly.
But
like you said, talent there. And let's put this out there. So 19 innings pitched, like you mentioned, 35 strikeouts, as you just heard over and over. Swing and a miss. Yeah. Swing and a miss. I feel like they were bored.
Yeah.
It's just another swing and a miss from Espino.
Yeah, his strikeout numbers are ridiculous. In high A, he was striking out 16 per 9 in his few starts in double A. 17 strikeouts per 9 innings. Like just
not fair.
Those are video game numbers.
Not my video games. I wish I could do that.
All right, so moving on from Espino. Next up, another pitcher, Kyle Henderson for the Giants, 2023 round pick. So kind of getting a little bit later rounds here. But Kyle Henderson, first left-handed pitcher, I think, too, on this list.
He ended up drawing 5 walks and scored 3 runs. 2-2. Myers chases up and out of the zone. A swinging strike, 3 on a high fastball. Next on Meadows. Harrison coming set. 1-2 pitch. Meadows takes strike 3. Tough end of the season. 2-2. And he just does get it. He went around, and the ball bounces right back to the catcher, and he's going to throw out Niporti on the drop third. Tonight he's DHing. 1-2 pitch from Harrison. Swing and a miss. Made quick work of Crouch. Hits at the diamond last week with 4 walks. He also scored 3 times. The pitch. Foul tipped into the mid of the catcher on a high fastball. Takes a huge lead down the line. Here's the payoff pitch to Cabrera. And Daniel takes a called strike 3 on a curveball on Harrison tonight. Payoff. And that's a low called strike 3. 1-2, runner goes. Breaking ball, a called strike. Throw to second, not in time. Myers swipes second base. Harrison coming set. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. That's the 9th strikeout for Harrison, but the damage.
So if you were following there, that was 9 strikeouts in 3 innings for Harrison. Funky delivery, kind of comes with that three-quarter motion. Had a really, really good year last year. Tons of strikeouts, as you saw. Probably not somebody who makes it this year, but Giants fans got to be happy with the development from their 3rd round pick from 2020.
Yeah. And like, What another crop of talent. So I'm going to put it this way, right? He's number 18 prospect in baseball. When you look at the Giants system right now, so I go to the Giants top 30 prospects, he's number 5.
Baseball America, I think, has him 2.
Wait a minute. What's going on here? That can't be right.
Unless that's all updated.
Did I accidentally go like into another year?
Maybe. Because Luciano should be 1 and then Harrison should be 2.
Just disregard that because I don't feel like that's right.
So, well, like I said, really, really good, strong year from Harrison. Like I said, it's cool to see some of the later round. Like, I mean, 3rd round pick isn't late, but you know, I mean, in the 2 years since he's been drafted, you know, he's jumped most of his draft class when it comes to prospect status.
Yeah.
All right, next up, just a freak of nature, Ellie De La Cruz, another NL Central guy who's going to just look at him.
1-1. Swinging a fly ball crushed out to left center field and deep. Back goes Murr, turns, looks up, forget about it. Home run number 16 for Ellie De La Cruz.
2/3 innings. Here's a drive to left, way back, and it is long gone. De La Cruz has hit a homer left-handed and a homer right-handed. Ellie De La Cruz, home runs from both sides of the plate in this ball game. That is his 17th.
Pitch, fly ball crushed to right field and deep. Boyarski back, still going. It's gone. He's done it again.
So if you're talking upside and you're looking at everybody we've talked about, it's hard to name anyone with as much upside as Ellie De La Cruz. 6'5", switch hitting shortstop who just hits nukes.
Does it kind of, to a degree, sound like someone that was
just
put on the scene last year, also with the last name partly of Cruz?
Yeah, he's very similar to like O'Neal Cruz, except he bats both lefty and righty. Yeah, just a freak athlete and just crushes the ball. Dude crushes the ball.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like this, again, I mean, like the build between him and O'Neal Cruz. I mean, Cruz is a little bit taller, but like he's 6'5", 190, 200 pounds, if that. I mean, they're both very tall, lanky. Maybe like De La Cruz is just a tad below like unicorn status of like O'Neal Cruz. But holy hell, like what he can do. And here's the thing about him also. Now, granted, I don't know the Reds. That's going to be a unique situation for them also. Like if he's going to start day one for them or not, because there's really no track record for them if that's what they would do or not. Right. But that ballpark that he's going to enter as well when he goes in Cincinnati, is he going to put up 70 home runs? And then, of course, with the bigger bases next year, is he going to have like a 70-70 season? Because he can steal bases too, Jim.
Yeah, I mean he stole 47 bases last year and hit 28 homers in 120 games.
So again, be fair, rookie, he'll have a 50-50 year then.
Again, like we've got he's listed as the number 20 prospect, but like the upside here is just he could be ridiculous. He could be just an absolute monster, I think.
Yeah. Yep. So again, if you're an NL Central fan, good luck. I'm excited to see the talents, but I'm fearful also to see the talents.
Yeah.
By the way, Justin, what's going on, my man?
Cheerio, Walker, De La Cruz so far, and we're only at number 20.
Fun times.
Yeah. All right. From the University of Louisville, number 21 prospect, another Dodger, Bobby Miller.
Look at that swing. 98 on that fastball.
Stadiums are much bigger. Guys are playing a lot deeper. Most of the time, you're going to see a lot of balls that are up the end of the bat for guys to need to charge and go big, go get it. Deals them dinner.
I mean, that is two. And a nice little breaking ball dropped in there by Miller on Tristan Casas. But you have two baseballs back to back that are so close to landing on some outfield grass. And instead, the glove just before it hits. Look at the swings that Bobby Miller is producing tonight.
And that's not fair, right? Because he's thrown with less than 2 outs, fastballs after fastball after fastball. And now he's facing, obviously, Casas a slugger, a good hitter.
So another long line of Dodger prospects coming up. Just an absolute rocket on his arm. Stuff is insane. It's already reached AAA. He is pretty close to being Major League ready. Like, I don't think he starts the year in the Dodgers rotation. It's always hard to crack that Dodgers rotation because it's so deep all the time. But Bobby Miller will be in the majors this coming year for the Dodgers. And it's really just a matter of when the Dodgers decide they just want to start pitching him.
It has to be so hard to be a fan of the Dodgers.
Oh, so hard.
So hard. So hard for all you listening right now. I don't know. It's dumb. It's just silly, the talent they have on the Major League roster. Like, that's the thing. Like, think about years back, like the Yankees. I mean, they didn't care about the farm, right? They wanted to win. You trade the farm, you have a Major League talented system. And like the Dodgers were like, well, we're going to do that, but then we're also going to have a farm. So we're just going to have like the number one farm system in baseball. And then we're also just going to have like the best team in baseball. So that way,
and the most money in baseball,
and the most money. It's just ridiculous what the Dodgers do and how well they are at it. So I don't know. Yes, I'm envious. I'm sorry, but Usman, your life must just be so difficult.
But talking about the challenge, like the call-up challenge, Bobby Miller's definitely in play there. He's in play.
Yeah, because that's the thing too. Like the Dodgers don't care about service time.
Yeah, they don't care.
and it's so deep anyways that they could call him up in April and then send him back down. Maybe there's an injury or such and send him back down if they need to. I mean, it's not so much they need to call him up and down for service time. It's for depth.
Yeah.
You know, I could see him being up early and then going back down just because they don't need him right now because now they got 6 healthy pitchers again.
Yeah, like maybe they need him for 2 starts because someone gets hurt, in April. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Must be tough, Dodgers fans. Must be tough. All right, next up, the main piece of the Juan Soto trade, Robert Hassell, number 22 prospect in baseball.
3-1. There's a deep drive into the right field corner. Paje starts back, looks up, and it is right on the middle of the hit it here sign in right field. A 2-run home run has extended this lead in the 11th.
All right, so like I said, main piece of the Juan Soto trade. So there's a lot of hype based around that. Like, I mean, he's the main guy in there. 2020 first round pick. He's going to be compared a lot with another guy coming up here soon on this list. Who was high school outfielders in that 2020 first round, but reached AA. Didn't really do that well in AA this season, but age 20, he's got all the tools. There's really not a whole lot to not like about Robert Hassell.
I'm with you. I will say, actually, you know what? I'm not even 100% sure. I don't think he is. I'm just checking real quick. No, he's not. In that trade, I'm actually more intrigued on another prospect in Woods, but regardless,
he's good.
Hassell's one. He's a pretty good prospect to have.
Yeah. Robert Hassell, good stuff. Next up, another Tampa Bay Ray, Curtis Mead.
Lefty Kubat out of the stretch. His first pitch is hit out to right field, high and deep. Back goes Adolfo. He'll watch it, and that one sails into the bleachers. And Mead has a home run. That's his first AAA homer. Made his AAA debut in the day game on Tuesday. And he has an opposite field home run that disappears into the bleachers in right field to put the Bulls on top 1-0.
So similar to Taj Bradley, very close to the majors. He's already reached AAA. Another interesting thing here, you see 2018 international free agent. Usually when you see international free agent, you know, it's like Dominican Republic, Venezuela. Curtis Mead was Australia. So not a whole lot of like big talented baseball players coming out of Australia. So shout out to Curtis Mead for, you know, being kind of the forefront there on the Australian continent. But no, I mean, he's a corner infielder, can play third, could play first, but very close to major league ready. Again, Rays manipulating service time, all that stuff. Probably won't see him until mid-year, but I would anticipate you see him this year.
Yep. And there's a spot now because G-Man Troy no longer with the Rays.
That's true. That's true. All right. Next up, the guy that we're going to probably be comparing with Hassell for a while, Zach Veen, another outfield high school draft pick, nice high school pick from that same draft. He and Hassell were pretty much drafted right after each other.
9-6 Fresno here in the bottom of the 8th. And Winslow delivers, and Veen swings and rips one down the right field side, and that is a fair ball, and that's going to go to the wall. We'll see if Zach Veen can get to third. He hustles around second. He is on his way to third, and Zach Veen dives in safely. He is the first Fresno Grizzly ever in a home game to hit.
The end of that was to hit for the cycle. So that was the hit for the cycle, Zach Veen. We talked about like Volpe and his steals. So Veen can hit. He's got all the tools. 55 stolen bases last season. 55 stolen bases last season. Super fast, super athletic, can hit the ball, can play defense. And in Colorado with like big Coors Field, like he's like the perfect center fielder for Coors Field for like years to come. So I don't think he makes the majors this year, but he's going to be right there kind of with Hassell, I think, in 2024.
This is a prospect that I'm very intrigued with because, like you said, too, and the Colorado, like we talked about with De La Cruz, with going to Cincinnati and hitting bombs there, like his bat's going to play up because he's going to get some freebies playing in Coors Field with home runs. But then you add the speed. Yeah, I want to point out the 55 stolen bases, and then in the Arizona Fall League, he had 15 in 21 games. It's dumb. It's silly. And then like he has power as well. Not finished, but like what he could become, very intriguing.
Yep.
9.
All right, pitcher, third round pick, 2021, Ricky Tiedeman.
He rocks and deals on 0-2. Slider inside part of the plate. He paints the corner. Really developed last year. 1-2. There's the slider, and Arbach chases. 2-2 to the play. Inside corner, a called strike 3. The southpaw kicks and delivers. Slider, top part of the zone for strike 3.
As the 3-2 is swung through. Strike 3.
High school kid, third round pick, has done nothing but just pitch really, really well so far in his young career. 18 starts this year, 2.17 ERA. He got all the way up to AA this year as a 19-year-old. So he is just blazing through the minors. And it's just impressive for a 19-year-old to do that.
Yeah. And like looking at those, now granted, he's not like 130 pounds, but I saw like a little Chris Sale to him.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the Blue Jays would hope he becomes Chris Sale.
I'm sure they do.
The White Sox version of Chris Sale.
Next
up,
another
also
pitcher.
doesn't punch and break things, Chris Sale. Maybe tear up some uniforms. I don't know, but
Next up, another pitcher, Andrew Painter for the Phillies.
Comes home. Breaking ball. Strike 3 called right at the knees. Delivers. Fastball swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's 100. Painter's 3-2. Fastball tipped right into Quirion's mitt. Strike 3. And in his high A debut, his first inning at the level, Andrew Painter strikes out the side.
So, I mean, you just heard it right there on the video, saw it, 100 miles an hour. Power stuff. 2021 first round pick, number 30 prospect. Reached Double-A last year as a 19-year-old, another 19-year-old reaching Double-A. He's just been really good everywhere he's been. And just a super impressive season last year. I think he was the Baseball America Pitcher of the Year last year. Minor League Pitcher of the Year.
Oh.
I want to say that.
Interesting. Okay.
1.56 earned run average spread out over 103 innings in 3 different levels.
Yeah. Like, not to the Yuri Perez upside part, but again, talking about a big boy who throws hard. Also good control.
Mm-hmm.
One could say he paints the corners.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
So very intriguing prospect. And like, it's something where I feel like the Phillies has been pretty bare for a bit of time.
Yeah.
So kind of good for them.
Yeah. And honestly, who knows? The Phillies are going after it so hard right now. Andrew Painter, like, I think they would rather not trade him, but like, if they want a big name maybe at the deadline this year, this is the guy everybody's going to want.
Yeah. Or these next 4 days.
Yeah.
I mean, the winter meetings are here. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah. All right. Heading back to hitters, Colson Montgomery, number 35 prospect for the White Sox.
Anything at this hour? 1-1. Drill. Deep right, and forget about that, baby, as Aguilar will just turn and admire. That thing onto the berm, a solo home run for Colson Montgomery. Home run number 2, RBI number 7, and Birmingham out to a 1-0 lead. Not only did he get into it, but he got a lot of arc under it as well. That was a majestic shot toward right field.
When it comes to 2021 draft, the high school talent was pretty ridiculous. So, I mean, Colson Montgomery, another high school pick from that draft, reached Double-A this year at age 20, and he performed in low A, high A. You know, he only played 14 games in Double-A and struggled in those 14 games, but he has dominated the lower levels of the minors at a young age.
Yeah. But you hit on the head. All the shortstops, too. I mean, geez. It's so athletic as well. Yeah. Hey. White Sox have another shortstop coming up. Must be nice.
Yeah. All right, next up, another shortstop. This one from this year's draft, which is this the first? No, we've had 2022 draft picks, I think. This might be. Wait.
I think this is the first.
This is the first one we've seen. So, yeah, Brooks Lee.
Yep, for sure.
Brooks Lee 1 for 3 in this game. Fly ball, well hit right field, way back, and that is long gone. A 2-run home run for Lee. And they've had a 3-run inning and have made this a close game suddenly. It is now an 8-6 ball game as Lee hits the home run. That is his 4th with Cedar Rapids, 2nd of this series.
Oh, we talked about Michel Triana hitting a blast out into right field. That one that Brooks Lee just hit, that dwarfed Triana's home run. That was.
So the 2022 draft was filled with high school players. Brooks Lee, really the biggest college bat in that draft. The most major league ready hitter in that draft, too. Hit the ground running in his first partial season last year, hit everywhere. He got all the way up to Double-A. Close to the majors. I mean, you could see him get called up this year, I think. I put 2024 here just to kind of be conservative, but I think there's a possibility you could see him called up earlier than that.
Yeah, and that's with the organization with the Twins. I could see it with them also, just depending. But I guess there's something I want to add here as well. I mean, last year was Royce Lewis, their uncut diamond, also a shortstop, and I feel like he was been in the organization for about a decade now. And here's the next shortstop, Brooks Lee.
Yeah. Now Brooks Lee also, maybe can stay at shortstop. A lot of people are thinking he may shift over to third or second, but the bat's gonna play, I think.
Oh,
all right.
Breaking news. Crime dog Fred McGriff elected to the Hall of Fame.
Hey, that's pretty cool. We need maybe we'll have a commemorative candy NFT for Fred McGriff going to the Hall of Fame. That'd be neat.
How about that?
Yeah. Interesting. Was he the only one?
That's the only alert I got.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Another 2022 first round pick, the first overall pick, Jackson Holliday.
2-2 again. And Holliday tags it out to deep left center field. Gallant chasing after it. He won't get there. And it one hops off the wall. Young walks home from third, and Holliday in standing at second with an RBI double. And the Shorebirds 2 batters into the last of the first, lead it 1-0 on Jackson Holliday's RBI double.
So obviously very young, high school hitter. This year, he was 18. Played 12 games this year, so didn't really get a whole lot of playing time. Was kind of a surprise, I think, as the first overall pick. Like his name was kind of in there, but at the very end, he kind of took the reins. But I mean, just another Oriole. We're number 38 on this list here. We've seen 2 Orioles so far, but we also skipped some Orioles because some are already in the majors.
Yeah, well, yeah, we saw Rodriguez, Gunnar Henderson, obviously. Their top prospect. It's the Orioles, like they're just so young and ridiculously good. In that regards, in a couple of years, they hopefully will be ridiculously good as a team.
Yeah.
But
I guess when you've been so bad though for like 5 straight years. I will say this about the Orioles though, like they've hit on pretty much all their guys except for who was the 2020 first round pick, the guy with the heart issue, Heston Kjerstad.
Yep.
Other than Kjerstad, like they've hit on all these guys. It seems like. So. But no, Holliday. Obviously, if you're doing your MLB call up challenge, not going to pick Jackson Holliday. he's quite a ways off. This is his first. This will be his first collectible and the first overall pick from this year's draft. All right. For the Guardians, George Valera.
A 1 pitch. Crushed. Deep right field. That one's not coming back. Bye-bye. 2-run home run for George Valera. Got one out over the plate, extended the arms, and the Clippers lead it by a 3-0 score. So the error proves costly. Valera with his 8th home run in a Clippers uniform. That pitch was high in the zone and out over the plate. Valera got around on it and drilled it gone.
Crushed that pitch. I think if you're filling out your top 5 again, George Valera's got to be in your mix. I think he's very close to being major league ready. He's already played 42 games in AAA. Kind of been on the prospect scene for a while now. Not much to add. He's very close. Very close.
Right. Everything we talked about with the Guardians, the Guardians, as far as like their pitching and what they produce, like I feel like they are always trying to piece together an outfield. So that part too, like I just feel he's probably going to be there because they just desperately need outfielders.
Yep. All right, next up, first Pirate, Termarr Johnson.
He winds up
And fires a 3-2. Johnson swings and lines it to left center field. A base hit the other way. This could go for extras. Johnson loses helmet around first. He's digging for 2. The throw is cut off. Termarr Johnson has an opposite field double. He gets the 1-1 toss, and Johnson swings and lines one past the second baseman Schobel into right field. That ball was absolutely smoked. 105.4 off the bat of Termarr Johnson. And he hit that ball right on the screws. Done. Next pitch swung on, lifted high in the air to right field. Kalai Rosario to his right, lost sight of it. This ball drops in. Termarr Johnson into second base. He stops right there. That ball misplayed.
Classic Bradenton double there.
Johnson breaks for third. Pitch is low. Throw to third base is not in time. Termarr Johnson swipes third. His first stolen base at single A, and the Marauders' go-ahead run is now 90 feet away with 1 out. Quick.
So exciting player. Kind of a spark plug type of guy. He's only 5'8". I think he's the highest drafted second baseman to ever, maybe. I can't remember that, but it's been a while since a second baseman was taken 4th overall. Didn't get a ton of playing time, obviously, being a 2022 pick, 23 games, but looked really well. Looked really good in his first partial season in A-ball. Lot to be excited about with Termarr Johnson, but very far away from the majors. Again, I put ETA here at 2026.
Yeah, so don't put him in your challenge, but
yeah,
the hit tool is supposedly elite. I'm not sure about Tony Gwynn elite, but like that's his calling card is this hit tool. And for being 5'8", apparently the power should be there. So I mean, yeah, he's a young, interesting. He's definitely an intriguing prospect because of the size and what he does present. So certainly a guy to follow along.
For sure.
But I want his icon also.
Yeah. Next up, first Cub on the list, Pete Crow Armstrong.
Necessarily. Maybe to the umpire or the catcher. Oh, yes.
Go, Pete. A double for Crow Armstrong.
Another high school outfielder from that 2020 draft to go along with Veen and Hassell. This was really the first year we got to see Pete Crow Armstrong. He got hurt really early in 2021, so he only played 6 games in 2021. But this year was his first full season playing, and boy, did he look good. The Cubs got him in a trade for 2 months of Javi Baez, so I don't know how they figured out. I don't know how they did that, but a really good full first season for Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yep. It's a prospect I like, and like you said, NL Central wise, right? It stings a little bit knowing how the Cubs were able to fleece that deal, if you want to say, get him. Yeah. Solid prospect.
Next up, another 2022 first round pick.
Woo.
So big time power, Elijah Green, 6'3", high school draft pick, 5th overall pick in this year's draft. Lot of talent there. I mean, he only played rookie ball, so we've got these little grainy cell phone videos. This is really all we have for Elijah Green right now. But he impressed in his short amount of time in rookie ball, and I think everybody's looking forward to seeing what he can do in his first year of full season ball next year.
Yeah, certainly toolsy. Big time, like boom or bust, I feel. But if that thing booms, holy hell.
Yeah, I mean, I think the strikeouts are a concern. In the 43 at bats,
but it's
he
young.
did have in rookie ball, he struck out 21 times. But obviously, if he can get that under control, the rest of his tools are off the chart.
Right.
All right. Next up, another pitcher, Jack Leiter.
He rocks back here and delivers home. A check swing and a miss. He went around 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. He delivers. Got him swinging.
Scouts mixed in there. 3 tonight. The 2-2. He goes around for strike 3 on the breaking ball.
Rest of the start, but the numbers don't look great.
Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He pulled the string on him for strike 3. 5 tonight. The pitch home. Called strike 3. Make it 6. Guess he's been sharp.
2-2. Strike 3 called. Looks over the top of his glove. Winds back in the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Slider up and in. And he picks up his second strikeout against Martin and ties his career high with 8 strikeouts tonight.
So a lot of people familiar with Jack Leiter. He was the number 2 overall pick in 2021 out of Vanderbilt. Just absolute monster that last season he had at Vandy. Al Leiter's son. Stuff's incredible. Texas was really aggressive with him last year, started him off in Double-A, pitched a whole year there. Struggled a little bit with walks and control, but very polished, good stuff. I got to think he makes the majors this year.
Interesting. Yeah, he's the one that's like, I mean, the pedigree's certainly there, and you saw what he did in Vandy. I mean, all the talk was Kumar Rocker. Then it was like, wait a minute. Maybe it's not Kumar Rocker at all. Maybe it's Jack Leiter, and that's what it ended up being. Obviously, the frame, it's a bit smaller, but like the numbers weren't good. Now, like, granted, like you said, it's pretty aggressive as in Double-A, but I'm kind of concerned. And like you said, certainly the walks, 93 innings, 56 walks, 109 strikeouts. So like we know what he can do. The pedigree's there, the stuff's there, but I am a little concerned of the performance so far. That's all. But we know that they don't really need Jack Leiter, since they kind of made a deal for DeGrom right now. So I think they're feeling pretty good with the top of the rotation, at least. But the good thing about, though, is, I mean, the Rangers, and if you're a Rangers fan, they're clearly wanting to win. So with that, Leiter maybe be up there soon.
Yeah.
Do you think top 5-ish? Is he going to be in your challenge?
I don't think he's in my challenge, but I do think he makes the majors this year. So, but I don't know. I'll have to look at him and see.
I don't know if I would put him there either in my top 5.
All right, next up, another Pirate pitcher, Quinn Priester.
2 sliders, his curveball's his best pitch. And a fastball, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 3, a pitch down and away. Priester to the belt. And the pitch, and he got him. Strike 3 called. Afternoon in his AAA debut. On the way in a 2-2, and it's waved at and missed. It's 3 games to 1. Here's a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Yeah, I got you. And there's a swing and a miss, and he struck him out. Low fastball. Another 1-2-3 inning for Quinn Priester, who has excelled in his AAA debut.
2019 first rounder, has pitched well everywhere he's stopped. Stuff is good. Curveball's great. I don't think you're looking at like a potential ace like we were talking about with those pitchers we were, at the very beginning of this show. But you're looking at someone who I think is a very capable mid-rotation starter here. He should get called up at some point this year. I think a lot of Pirates fans are excited about Quinn Priester.
Yeah, I don't have much to add to that. Solid pitcher. Don't put him in your top 5. I'm not.
All right. Next up, another pitcher, Jackson Jobe.
He's been impressive. There's 1-2. How about your first strikeout in the Midwest League? Jackson Jobe, Kevin Made. And back-to-back strikeouts for Jackson Jobe. Jackson Jobe's 0-2. PCA, have a seat.
There you go. Striking out Pete Crow Armstrong, that last clip. First round pick for the Tigers, 3rd overall pick in 2021. High school arm, pitched decent last year in his first full season of pro ball. It wasn't like amazing by any means, but I mean, he was 19. I think he did pretty good. And the stuff's there.
Yeah. Yep. Interesting to find out where he goes and how well he does. Because because I feel like the Tigers, they're like the opposite of really. Apparently, my wife's printing something, so that's cool. They're kind of like the opposite of the Orioles. I mean, they've picked a top for a while now too, but they haven't been hitting, especially on their pitching side also. So, yeah, I'm curious about Jackson Job's career path now.
That's a good point. All right. Next up, another NL Central opponent, Sal Frelick.
Still printing.
Here's the 1-2. Line drive, right field, base hit. Racing in and toward the line, Piscotty. On his way to second is Frelick. Monasterio held at third. Frelick into second with a stand-up double.
Summer. And the ball hit hard toward right field. Piscotty going back. The ball over his head and the ball over the wall. Home run off the bat of Sal Frelick. It comes with a runner aboard and 2 men out, and it makes it a 7-4 game in favor of the Bats as Frelick gets his third with this Nashville club this year.
2021 first rounder out of Boston College. Very major league ready when he was picked. He's been moving through the minors super fast, and he's hit for average everywhere he's gone. Not really a ton of power, but the guy's going to be in the majors next year. I would be very surprised if he's not. Definitely someone to look at in your top 5, I think, because he's ready. Like he's pretty much ready.
Cool. I don't have much on him. I'll be honest.
No, you're good. You're good. Next up, Pirate again, Henry Davis.
Practically a must-win game for Altoona on the playoff circuit as Davis swings to the next offering and crushes it deep left field, back to the wall. This ball is gone. Henry Davis launches a home run to left field, and Altoona reclaims the lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's a 4-3 game as Davis has his 3rd home run with Altoona this season.
Boy,
First overall pick last year out of Louisville. Injuries have been his issue. He's been hit by pitch like a bajillion times ever since joining the Pirates organization. Tons of power. The guy can hit. He should make the majors at some point this year, as long as he doesn't keep getting hit in the hands, which seems to be an issue for him.
Yeah, well, I know this is your boy talking about Louisville, catcher and such.
Yep.
When he got when he went over number 1 overall, you were pretty excited going to the Pirates. But yeah, like this is an intriguing bat. Like if anything, the bat's likely going to play. I think it's safe to say he can hit in the majors. Where he's going to be at, that's to be determined. But yeah, safe to say he'll be in the majors next year. But I also would not put him in your top 5.
Yeah. They will manipulate that service time for sure. He's also he probably needs a couple of months of seasoning too.
I feel that part too, and then also just with the Pirates, I mean they have another catcher who's probably going to be there before him.
Yeah, I agree. All right, our first New York Met on the list, Alex Ramirez.
His first time up against Franco.
First pitch pummeled by baseball. Alex Ramirez over the Jim Beam Bourbon Bar for a 3-run shot.
All right. So Alex Ramirez, outfielder, reached high A last year. Not really too close to the majors at all currently, but has shot up prospect rankings. Played really well in like regular single A. Got that promotion to high A towards the second half of the year. And for his age, he's 19 years old. He played pretty well, held his own. I think Mets fans are happy with the development of Alex Ramirez so far. He's a guy who I feel like could shoot up this list next year. If he plays really well in Double A.
Yeah, by no means like Dodgers level, but we know what the Mets are doing right now in the major leagues as far as spending and such, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they certainly have had a pipeline of players also, even when they've given them away to the teams like the Mariners and the Cubs. They still have a pretty decent pipeline. What I want to say though is that announcer Pummel is such an underrated word. I love it.
Yeah.
I used to use that a lot in my vocab, and I need to reintroduce that again.
There you go.
So there's my Alex Ramirez take.
Yeah. All right, next up, another Oriole, Colton Cowser.
2-2 again. And Cowser's kind of one arms it out to deep left center field. Moving back is low. At the track, jumps up, and this ball's going to go. Goodness. That's Colton being Colton. A one-handed swing and hit that ball just left of straightaway center field. That's his 5th AAA home run in 24 games and his 19th combined this year.
So another college draft pick out of the 2021 draft, 5th overall. He's reached AAA. Another Oriole on this list who should make the majors this season. Just a really good balanced outfielder. Like I don't think he's going to be I don't think he's going to be a star by any means, but I think he could be a pretty good player.
Yeah, like he's somewhat intriguing. Like the strikeouts are maybe a little bit higher than we want to see, but he walks a lot, he hits. Kind of intrigued them.
Yep.
But right, that Orioles farm, man, and like you said, like they're all right there.
Yeah. All right, next up, the only person who had an uncut diamond last year, who is in this year's checklist, Jason Dominguez.
He is with Edie
You
right
just
there.
said big fan.
Big fan.
Oh! Jason Dominguez, look out. Deep central. And that is called redemption. 2-run bomb, and we are tied.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so number 97 prospect you see there. I think Jason Dominguez got a lot of hype 2 years ago, kind of when he burst onto the scene as a prospect in 2020. Or I guess it was 2021 was his first year. But international signing, people were saying it was like the next Mickey Mantle switch hitting center fielder. He's not the next Mickey Mantle, right?
A lot of hype around him.
But don't be confused by that number 97 ranking. Like he's 19 years old. He's reached AA. He's got a lot of talent. Like he can hit for power. He can steal bases. He can get on base. I think he's going to be pretty good once he gets to the majors. He just needs some more time to polish. So don't think Jason Dominguez is going to get called up this year, but I could see him, getting called up next year maybe. But don't sleep on him just because he's number 97. Like he didn't maybe deserve all the hype that he got, but he's still a very talented prospect.
Yeah. Look, what I add to that is like he turned his career around. Everyone put like he had a really good bounce back season this year, where he was falling, and it was like, wait, like Jason Dominguez is not that guy, and he was just falling off the list, and like he's still like you're saying he's at 97 right now, but I feel almost like at the beginning of next year he's probably going to be in the mid range of the top 100s again, and hopefully for Yankees fans continue to climb, but like I don't think he's this low either, like what you're alluding to.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Something I want to add because you brought up his name. It clicked, especially about him being the second one. We didn't talk about the inserts. We've been talking about the checklist, right? Jason Dominguez is also an insert for the Uncut Diamond. So there's actually 3 inserts. Jason Dominguez and it's a slash. Marcelo Meyer is an insert. Also, as we just talked with Henry Davis, is an insert. And then Jackson Holliday is the 3rd insert. So
so they got the
100
top
min counts for them.
Yeah, so the first overall pick in each of the last 2 drafts, and then they got the that Yankees Red Sox rivalry with Dominguez and Meyer there. So yeah, no, we didn't mention that. So thanks for bringing that up. All right, rounding out the top 100 here, number 98, Zach Neto for the Angels.
I guess that's 24th or 25th. That's
pitch is skied to deep left field. Back goes Valerio. Track, wall, gone.
All right. So last year, first round pick, he was the 13th overall. He fell a lot too, I feel like. I think he was supposed to be picked pretty high. Like I remember like this, he was talked about as a potential Pirates pick at number 4.
Right.
So dropped, but talented individual, shortstop, played well his first partial season, already in Double-A, so they were aggressive with him. Should move through the system pretty quickly. Maybe not this year, but next year.
Angels could sure use it.
Yeah, Angels need all the help they can get. All right, so that's everybody in the checklist that is on the top one, that is in the top 100. This is the rest, right? So there's a few other people who are outside. Gavin Cross, Harry Ford, Zach Geloff, I think is how you say that. Pedro Leon, Aurelvis Martinez, and then Jared Schuster is the only pitcher that's outside the top 100. So pretty cool, though. I mean, you look at this, out of the 40 people on the checklist, 34 of them are top 100 prospects. So great job by Candy for just loading up this this checklist. I mean, all these guys are interesting. They're all top prospects on their own teams. Harry Ford's super athletic. Aurelvis Martinez, just monstrous power. Jared Schuster, very major league ready over here too, if you're looking for top 5 people. So, so there's the checklist. If you complete it all, you get the chaser. The chaser is Drew Jones. Drew Jones was the number 2 overall pick in this year's draft.
He was the best high school hitter, pure hitter. He can hit a ball 440 feet, makes a lot of
Father
contact.
should be a Hall of Famer.
Very good speed.
Father should be a Hall of
Defender.
Famer.
Speaking of the Hall of
He's
Fame.
so polished in every facet.
Look at this home run swing.
And the hype is real. He's a good hitter, and he's going to be a really, really good hitter for years to come.
All right, so he's the number 19 prospect in all of baseball, according to Baseball America. He did not play last year in any of the professional ranks. So his highest level is high school. But as I said, number 2 overall pick, ETA 2026. But this will be a pretty cool chaser. Obviously, you recognize the name if you put an A-N in front of there. You get Andrew Jones. So this is his son, Drew Jones. Another really talented prospect that the Diamondbacks have.
Yes, sir. So
it is going to be interesting, though, as far as the chaser goes. I'm going to get the whole checklist. I will get this chaser.
I certainly assumed so. Yep.
But I'm going to be curious to see what highlight they use. He has no professional at bats, so I don't know what they're going to do with that chaser. I'm curious to see how it looks. Maybe it'll be him on draft day or something.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
But that's very interesting. Now, this is what makes NFTs unique and great at the same time. They could essentially update it next year.
They could. Yeah. They could just say, hey, we're going to put this out here. And then when he hits his first professional home run, we're going to put that in there.
Right. Like that could happen.
Yeah.
But I am also interested in what they're going to do before that. So I don't know. Right. You make a good point.
So a good chaser. That'll be a fun thing to chase. Are you gonna go for that?
I'll see. Yes, I'm not. I mean, again, I knew you are because this is your bread and butter. I will see.
Okay.
Let's see how my packs turn out. I'll put it this way: if I get a legendary, I will.
Okay. No, that makes sense. So here's everyone who I put down as a 2023 ETA, right? So if you're watching this on YouTube, we'll put a link to this slide in the comments, so you'll have access to it and you can look at it and you can use it as a resource, right? But these are all the guys who we should see this year. So if you're putting together your top 5, this is the list that you're working with, right? So you don't have to look at all 40. All 40 don't have a chance of getting called up this year. These are the guys likely to be called up this season. So pick out 5.
There it is.
And get back up. You got to do it in the right order, too. It's going to be tough. It's going to be so hard.
I mean, it's going to be
Who do you
super
think's
fun, though.
Who do you think's won? Who do you think's won?
Well, I mean, who's going to be there for day one, right? And I don't think it's going to be one person. It could be a couple of them. I mean, Grayson Rodriguez has a legit shot of doing it.
He's got a shot. Yeah. So does Valera. I think so does Frelick. I think,
man, I just want to. I feel like I need to to really sit down. Quinn Priester's gone. Jack Later gone. Taj Bradley gone.
Curtis Mead's probably gone too. Like,
I don't know with
probably.
him.
I mean, it's the Rays.
Probably
it's the Rays.
I know it's the Rays, but for the same sense of like the Reds, I feel like De La Cruz could. I almost feel like the Reds could do it because, to be honest with the Reds, they don't truly operate cheap.
They don't.
And again, we haven't been able to see what they would do in these new roles. He's really the first player they'll be able to do it with. Wait, no, my bad. They did it last year with.
They did it with Hunter Green.
You're right. You know what?
Yeah.
De La Cruz is day one in my mind. He's there. It
Right.
might be aggressive, but
yeah,
I feel like the Reds might do it.
Another guy.
Actually, I forgot about Hunter Green, so that even solidifies it because I was feeling with the Reds. De La Cruz is there.
Yeah. We didn't really talk about Jared Schuster at all, but he's going to be 24. He's a lefty. Like, he's someone who maybe they do like that Spencer Strider thing where like he starts off in their bullpen. Yeah. I mean, that's a possibility too.
Plus, he's not the rankings aren't up to date at that time, but right now he's not a top 100 guy. So he wouldn't even fall under again, like with Strider, who, by the way, it slipped both of us, like how he was at a top 100 guy. Jeez, these lists messed up.
Yeah. Now Schuster is,
and with that said,
number one
for people collecting, right? Don't just worry about top 100. You might have a Spencer Strider this upcoming year.
That's true. I mean, a lot of these guys too, like Orelvis Martinez, just has as much power, if not more, than anyone that we talked about. He had 30 home runs last year in the minors, which is not something that happens often.
Right.
Yeah, so it'll be fun putting together that list. I don't know exactly who. I think I'm going to probably include Valera in there. I could see him sneaking on opening day. I think I'm going to have Frelick in there too. I could see Pedro Leon also kind of sneaking in there. Like, he's a little bit older. He's 24, had a full season in AAA last year. Like, maybe the Astros have him as, just have him as like another bat. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have all off season and things will change.
Yep.
When does you know what? I know you have the information. When does that challenge need to be completed by?
So that challenge you have until March 6th. March 6th.
That's interesting. So you really don't even have spring training.
You don't have spring training really,
to really look into. Okay.
Yeah. But you will know kind of like roster construction by then, right? So like for like the Guardians, for example, like if there's not really 3 starting outfielders on their roster, you can be like, maybe that means Valera is slated in for a spot,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that with Candy though. That really makes you, I mean, having to do by March 6th, you don't have that whole lot more information than you do today. Opposed, like you're saying, roster construction. You don't get to see them in March. You don't get to hear the rumors or how the team's feeling. You got to do it basically the first week of spring training. I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's it. That was fun.
Cool. Yeah, it was.
We went through a lot of people there.
Yeah, we did.
If you don't, I mean, at least everybody should know who everybody is now. So we spend a good amount, like we spend like a minute on everybody, I feel like. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, we'll make this real quick because honestly, Jim, it does not apply to you. It definitely does not apply to me, and it doesn't apply to most people at all. But it is just interesting to know that Candy has introduced the new loyalty program. So this is just version 1. This is the first level. I know we'll be diving more into it, but the very, very first layer is if you have a net spend of $50,000 all time, and then net spend, of course, is calculated by adding your primary, secondary purchases, and of course, taking away all your sales, right? A net spend of $50K, you will be a VIP. You'll be in the VIP tier. So congratulations if you have a net spend of $50,000. I do not. So I will not be with you. But a lot of cool perks, a lot of good stuff. But then you also have to maintain a net spend of $20,000 each and every year going forward. But granted, again, yeah, a lot of perks involved with this as a VIP, as Jim has up here now.
yeah, $50,000 net spend. Like I've spent a lot of money on here, but I think if I were at that level, I might not be married anymore. So I haven't quite gone that far. But yeah, $50,000 net spend, and then you have to spend $20,000 like year over year.
Yeah.
So,
but granted, for some of these perks, I mean, it makes sense. This is
the perks. Yeah, the perks
top
are
of the top.
Perks are nice. Yeah. I mean, round tables with executives.
Yeah.
And you're basically like a shareholder at that point, or like a board member.
Yeah, we're not gonna get that.
Yeah, we're not gonna get.
But I understand. I don't spend $50,000 on this.
Yeah, no.
So I shouldn't be included. But again, it's where this doesn't really represent and mean a whole lot to you and I, this level, although for some people it will.
Mm-hmm.
It is just cool seeing that they are introducing the loyalty program, right? So we'll of course open up. There'll be more things, and maybe we'll get a tier that we qualify for soon.
Yeah,
but
yeah, they're exploring.
They're
exploring different tiers. So yeah, hopefully we can. Maybe we won't be a VIP. We'll be like just a P.
I'm good with that, as long as I'm a person.
Yeah.
I'm good. It's more than my wife thinks of me sometimes.
Yeah. All right. No, that was fun.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. So early access Wednesday, standard drop Thursday, and then you've got 96 hours basically to complete your set for the chaser.
There you go.
Who are you most looking forward to? Who's not a pirate to collecting?
That's a good question. I guess I never really thought of that, but I mean, Yuri Perez is, again, just because, but he's a pitcher. We know, like, probably want to go after the batters. If I had to, I don't know, maybe it just is going to be him anyways, just because, again, like the personal touch, right? I do follow, being in Jacksonville, I've always followed the Marlins semi-closely, right, outside the Pirates, which is why I picked the Marlins in our Strat League. That makes sense. So I continue to follow them. So maybe it is Yuri Perez just because. But I don't know. I guess outside, De La Cruz also.
Yeah. So I was thinking Ellie.
It's going to be fun.
I was thinking Ellie, but then also Cheerio too. Like, I mean, by the time, mid-April, late April rolls around, Cheerio is going to be the #1 prospect in baseball. So, keep that in mind. Like Gunnar Henderson's very close to graduating off of this list. And Cheerio is going to be right there to replace him at #1. So I'm going to say Cheerio, but yeah, Ellie De La Cruz, again, from just the upside standpoint that we talked about. He's just a fun guy to watch.
He's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Except for those games.
Except when he's playing
where he's murdering the Pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hitting nukes off of Bryce Wilson.
Dear God, please not be Bryce Wilson. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Not this year. All right.
Cool.
Was that wrap everything up then?
I think so.
Awesome. Well, Thank you all for stopping by, learning about these 40 prospects, and good luck if you're in early access that you get all 3 packs if you choose. If you're not, good luck in your general queue of getting a pack or more. So, and then secondary, however you choose to buy, sell, profit, whatnot. Good luck on all that. But it's going to be fun this next week.
It will be. I'm looking forward to the drop.
Outstanding. All right, well, let's get out of here then. Appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe, like, comment, do all that good stuff. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
See you guys.